Let's go through all 4 matchups and decide who we have winning these games, starting off with Arsenal going up against Real Madrid, a very exciting matchup, one that I've personally been wanting to see for a long time. Arsenal hosting the first match at Emirates Stadium and then the return leg at the Santiago Bernabeu. Real Madrid has all that aura, all that history, all that experience going for them. But Arsenal has, you could say, a vendetta or a want to prove themselves on the big stage after a very, very long time. This is the prime opportunity for guys like Bukayo Saka, for guys like Mikel Arteta to pull off one of the biggest victories for Arsenal in the past 5-10 years.
Yeah, this game's 50-50. I think Arsenal are the better team, but Madrid have all of the experience, all of the aura, all of the glory. I can hear the Champions League coming. The Champions League theme coming, bro. I can hear it.
Turn it off, man.
I
Turn
know.
it off. It's driving you crazy.
And so that's just tough to go against. We've seen it over the last 10 years. This is where Madrid shine. And given Arsenal's form over this entire season, it's beatable. Arsenal's very, very beatable, but so are Madrid. So you just have to back what you back. Do you back that glory, that history, or do you back the fluidity of Mikel Arteta's style of football? Can they pull off something incredible? Also consider the fact the league's done for Arsenal. It is done. Liverpool have, like an 11, 12-point lead over Arsenal. It's over. So Arsenal, really, their only saving grace for the season is the Champions League. Put all your eggs in this basket. Go up against a weird Real Madrid. Get the dub. I think it's possible for both sides to go through. This one's 50-50. I'm going to give Madrid the edge with a second leg at home, Mbappe in form, but I do think Arsenal have a great chance.
I remember early on in the season, a big take I had, one of my proudest takes was that I just didn't think Arsenal was going to compete for the Premier League title or lift it at the end of the day, but that the Champions League was the tournament for them to focus in on and to go all in on and look to win. The opportunity has finally arrived. It's why I've been checking the injury status of Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli on a daily basis. Martinelli came back and made an appearance in the PSV second leg match, so he'll probably be good to go by the time of this matchup.
He's back.
But Saka, man, I need Saka feeling great, playing well going into this game because they cannot win this without him. They just can't. They need Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, and then Trossard potentially in that middle spot because they have now lost Kai Havertz for the rest of the season. When I watched Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid, I did feel a slight desire out of Atletico's offense that I didn't get fulfilled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Atletico plays a certain style of football. They're very, very good at it, but there were moments in the game that I believe Real Madrid could have been exposed, whether it was on a counter, whether it was in possession, that Atletico just wasn't able to fully take advantage of, scoring 2 goals in total over 180 minutes against Real Madrid. I think that showed. I think Arsenal can do way more damage offensively, which is why I really like the prospect of Arsenal going up against this specific Real Madrid side. Defensively, they can tap into a very good defensive version of themselves as well. Yeah. It just hasn't come as consistently as I would hope. But I would think that in a matchup of this magnitude, a matchup this big with the opportunity at hand, I would hope that they can tap into that and prove to be a very good, sturdy defensive side with that ability to hurt their opponents, hurt a team of the magnitude of Real Madrid in a matchup like this. So I agree with you. Arsenal has a golden chance here, man. There's a true opportunity at making history and what's probably their best chance to make a deep run in the Champions League in a long, long time, man. And I just hope everything is set in place for us to see the best version of Arsenal going into this game. With that being said, it's tough to not pick Real Madrid, man.
It's tough.
It is tough. And the experience, what we saw against Atletico Madrid, the footballing gods, everything that encapsulates this tournament just always favors Real Madrid, man. It always does.
Always.
And I don't think it happens here. I don't think this is where they get knocked out. I'm sorry. I probably got Arsenal fans excited.
Damn, you got me excited. That's what you say?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's tough. The attitude. I mean, that's how it is.
I just wish... Even if Saka's there, he might be a little rusty. He hasn't played in a while. And that's what also worries me. And breaking Rudiger, Asensio, and Courtois in this form,
Courtois.
I think is going to be really, really hard. Where Arsenal can shine, though, you have Merino, false nine, Odegaard, dominating the midfield against this non-existent midfield in Madrid. There's a chance, man, but God damn it, man. When Mbappe's there, even Vinicius, when he goes ghost, he can somehow pop up again.
And I don't know if he'll go as ghost in this matchup. Then I think Atletico played him the best any team could.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if Arsenal can do the same with him specifically. So I see him having a bigger impact over these two legs.
Yeah.
And that's scary. That is scary. So I'm going Real Madrid. Folks, let us know down below who are you going with in Real Madrid, Arsenal. But I do want to make it clear, I'm not shrugging off Arsenal like I've seen in other predictions. A lot of people are counting Arsenal out. I think this is an incredible opportunity, man. Incredible. Let's continue on with PSG going up against Aston Villa. PSG also with a great opportunity here to progress to the semifinals.
And they will.
Okay. I won't do any more preview then. PSG's beating Aston Villa, yeah?
Yeah. Especially over 2 games. 1 game, maybe I would give Villa a chance. 2 games, absolutely not.
I just get scared though, man.
No, not against Villa. Villa's not scary.
Man, I feel like what we saw was the best version of PSG in that match against Liverpool. To count on them to repeat that is what's scaring me here.
They won't need to.
You're saying 80% of that defeats Aston Villa?
75.
60?
65.
All right, I can meet you there. All right then.
Yeah.
All right then. I won't be anxious about it.
No.
About
You
anxiety.
shouldn't. Not this matchup.
Okay, I won't.
Future, yes, but not against Villa. Villa are a great side. They're really fun to watch, and they have great goal scorers. Rodgers, Watkins, even Leon Bailey can show up at times. Their midfield, there's some good talent there with Tielemans. We've watched Villa specifically all season long because, God, they were so interesting at the beginning, first half of the season. What could they really achieve? And honestly, I'll be surprised if they made it this far. Maybe they got a little lucky that they got to play against Bruges, because Bruges used up all of their luck against Atalanta. Yeah. But Villa took advantage, and they battered Club Bruges. But I think it takes a lot to beat this PSG side. It takes to be as good as Liverpool, and Villa's just not as good as Liverpool. We've seen it all Premier League season long. Villa's right in that 5th to 8th place range. You have to be first or second to be able to beat this PSG side. PSG has been so consistent for the last 3 months, they're not going to let up against Villa.
Yeah, that's what I highlight as the biggest flaw with Aston Villa this year: consistency. Consistency, and even their best version this year hasn't been that impressive compared to the heights that we saw them reach last year or the year before that. I can't buy into the Villa project this year. I can. I tried. I really did. For any Villa fans watching out there, I gave Villa way too much attention for the first 5 months of this season.
Bro, we talked about them a lot.
Weekly, man. It's not. I really don't want to come from a perspective that we're just picking the team with better odds. It really is from a place where I tried to buy into the project. I tried to hop on board Unai Emery and what he's trying to do, but this year has been pretty lackluster for Aston Villa. They do have that aspect of also putting all their eggs in one basket into the Champions League, but I don't think that's going to deliver for them. I think it ends here for them. PSG continues their incredible narrative, and I would bet Dembele gets a goal in one of these games. And so I just think it's going to be a great game for PSG. Momentum to build as they're on their way to a semifinal appearance. The next matchup that we have is Barcelona facing off against Borussia Dortmund, who just continue to find a way to make it into the final A of the Champions League after being finalists just last year. Dortmund is back, looking to be clear underdogs here as they take on an on-fire Barcelona side.
Dortmund doing Dortmund things, man. They really are that character in the Champions League where they're just underdog and they play the same way year after year, and it reaps rewards, man. Another great, decent run for Borussia Dortmund. Unfortunately for them, they have to play Barcelona. And I say that because Dortmund, honestly, like Villa, have a pretty good offense, but a leaky defense. Barcelona's defense not that much better, but Barca's offense is obviously, on paper and off the eye, so much better than Dortmund's. We already saw them play in the Champions League group phase. It ended up being a Barcelona win. over 2 games, Barcelona is just going to outscore Dortmund. Dortmund might be able to get a couple for sure, but they're not outscoring Barca.
Yeah, it's tough to find the argument for Dortmund in this one, man. Maybe last year's Dortmund makes a better competitor in this situation, but Barca this year, I think, has shown that they are very intentional about what they're doing in the Champions League. They're scoring like no other Barca team I've seen since probably the Messi, Neymar, Suarez days. Their goal tally is ridiculous. And yeah, they're probably conceding this matchup, but I'm actually not worried that they won't score the goals that they need. My worry actually would come from what I saw in the Benfica matchup. What's going on with these red cards, man? What's going on? I feel like Barca is very prone to just a surprise red card. It's what kicked them out of the quarterfinals last year. Was Araujo getting a red card against, I believe it was PSG, which put them in trouble. And that's probably the only thing I could see playing against Barca in this situation is like a surprise bad decision or mistake from one of these players. They seem to be prone to that. But if that doesn't happen, Pedri's controlling whatever midfield he's in, bro. Whatever midfield he's in, he's taking control of it. He's shining. He's been playing probably some of his best football ever this entire past year after winning the Euros and now going on an incredible run with Barca this entire season. I have full confidence that he can command the midfield and guide Barcelona to another victory here. So I have Barcelona winning this matchup. Rafinha tying up a few more goals, adding to his Ballon d'Or resume. Barca is winning this matchup and going to the semifinals, leaving one more matchup to be predicted here. Inter Milan against Bayern Munich. After Inter Milan was in the Champions League final a couple years back, and Bayern has kind of struggled to go deep into the Champions League as of recently, with a very different type of team this year, I would say, with what we've seen so far in their Champions League campaign, but still making it far enough into the tournament to be in the quarterfinals and matched up against Italy leaders right now.
Yeah, Bayern have just been not it for me this season, man. I've really tried to give them a chance as they're topping the table in Germany. They have a good point tally above the next best team, Bayer Leverkusen. So you would, based off of that, think, oh, Bayern's returned to form. They're back. Dominant Bayern. Let's go to the semifinals. Let's make a finals appearance in the Champions League. But there's just so many questions of this Bayern team that just hasn't been answered for me. Their defense goes ghost at times. Their center back pairing's too unstable for me. Their midfield creation, I think, is weak. Outside of Kane, outside of Harry Kane, there isn't another goal scorer on this team. Their chance creation's decent from a winger perspective, but it doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't lead to these goals. So when Bayern need to be clinical, if Kane's not doing it, nobody else is. And Kim Min-jae and whatever defender he's partnered up against is constantly getting caught out. Their midfield isn't that strong. And just when I look at their opponents in Inter Milan, I see a team that is just well drilled, so defensive, but they've actually added some really good players this season, man, with Thuram really coming into his own offensively, making this team more deadly, more threatening. I just see Milan controlling this game defensively and then using their finishers to get the best of Bayern Munich. I think it'll be a good matchup and it'll make for really good dramatic football, but I think Inter Milan are clearly the better side against Bayern.
Yeah, they're the better side, and I would say the more stable side, the more consistent side. Today, they got a very impressive result, defeating Atalanta away from home to just continue building their advantage at the top of the table in Serie A. I think they're the clear better team here. Bayern, what I think they have going for them is that ability to play at a high level in games of this magnitude. I thought their performance against Bayer Leverkusen was very impressive. Given that Bayer Leverkusen is a very weak version of themselves right now, they killed them. They killed him. Bro. They didn't make it close.
There was a red card in the 30th minute as well. It just doesn't help them.
Doesn't help them at all.
Doesn't help Leverkusen.
And I would see that as the only real positive I could give to Bayern Munich is
they barely beat Celtic.
I know. I'm with you. I'm just trying to give them something good, man. Because I'm not going to pick them. I'm going Inter Milan in this matchup. Bayern Munich has been way too questionable, and for me, it's a defensive pairing. I can't get behind a Kim Min-jae, Upamecano backline guiding you to a Champions League semifinal or a Champions League final. Clip me if I am wrong. Clip me and put that in a montage of predictions if you want, if I end up being wrong. But I really don't see them guiding you to a Champions League semifinal or final. Yeah. If Bayern goes to the final, I'll do an episode in German.
We'll go to Oktoberfest. Do a live episode after 3 Steins.
more expensive, man. I got Duolingo's free.
No, bro. If Bayern make the final, that's one thing you'd have to do, bro.
I liked Oktoberfest when we went. So we're saying we run it back.
We run it back.
Careful, bro. Man. The Turkish folks are still looking for me, man. Careful now.
No, it's what we do.
All right. They're not making the final. They're not making the final.
All right,
bet. We'll go to Oktoberfest. After 3 pints, we're shooting an episode with a bunch of Germans.
Yeah.
All right, fair. I got Inter Milan winning this matchup. Lautaro Martinez has been on fire still. He's been on fire for the past 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something. Like, is he injured or something?
No.
That scared me.
No, yeah.
Marcus Thuram is on his rise that we've seen. Maybe finally he shows up in these big games. I feel like that's been missing for him in the past 2 seasons. Yeah. I want to see him go off. I trust the midfield. I trust the defense. Let's do it, man. Inter Milan to the semifinal to finish off our Champions League predictions. Let me know down below. Let me know in the comments. Where do you guys stand on all 4 of these matchups? Do you agree or disagree with us?